Hey, and welcome to Matchbook Mondays. So thanks for coming back. Good to see you guys. And I think this will be a fun kind of topic to talk about. It does make me happy that I don't need to drag out all this stuff. It'll be mostly pictures, just because it would be a lot to drag out. But real quick before we get started, I had some people ask about my t-shirts. Now, I've worn other t-shirts, and these are all from my t-shirt store. It's my TeePublic store, but it's down here. And I have these ones, and I have shirts that I put match cover graphics on. So if you want a really cool vintage looking, match cover art t-shirt, make sure you check it out. But this one is like I've seen it and I have it. It's like a anti-drug brochure, but I changed it and it says, let's talk about matchbooks and records. And then down here it says, and old magazines and cats. Because basically, that's my life. But anyways, this shirt and other shirts are available on my TeePublic store. So let's get into this. Now, I have a video coming up all about Manny marks, right? So we'll get into more of that in another episode. But this is about crowns. Now, you're like, what? So, and I know some of you that are dabbling your toes into matchbook collecting have seen match covers referred to as crowns. So Crown is the company that made these matchbooks, and how you can tell is when you look at the Manny mark, it'll tell you it's a crown match. So why are crowns so desirable? So crowns started, Crown Match, the company, started in 1934, and it came out of another company called Hellman Match. Now Hellman Match those are very rare. If you find a match cover that says Hellman Match, it'll either say Hellman Match Los Angeles or Hellman Match Hollywood. Those are very rare, very collectible, and I'm very jealous if you have one, because I don't have any. I've only seen two with my own eyes. One was on eBay, and it was for like Pasadena Ice Capades, Ice Follies, something like that, and that was a full book. So even if I won that auction, which I didn't, that would be kind of an issue, because if you watched my shuck video, don't shuck the old ones. The old ones are hard to shuck, so I wouldn't be able to shuck that one. And then my friend, my matchbook collecting brother from another mother, has one for the Ambassador Hotel in LA in his collection. And I'm very jealous of that. So those are the only two I've seen with my eyes. But I think there's like a list, and on the list there's only like 10 Hellmans. So if you find one, let me know. I'm just curious. But anyways, so it was Hellman first, and they were out of Los Angeles or Hollywood, whatever the Manny mark says. And then either they turned into Crown, or Crown bought them out, or they changed the name, whatever. So then Crown was only around really in the 30s too. And crowns are very desirable because they're very good looking. Now, disclaimer, most crowns are good looking. There are some very boring plain crowns, and I will show you, and maybe I'll do a little gallery after this video to show more of the crowns, but I'll show some throughout this video. So yeah, crowns are very desirable because of their graphics. Look, they're very cool. It's for the time. That's what you gotta understand. For the time. That's a lot of art, and that's a lot of detailed art to put on a matchbook, right? Very good looking. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know why there's boring looking ones. Maybe it was a money issue. So if a business, d.mckinney's restaurant and tap house and milk bar and dairy lunch or whatever, I'm like, I want some crown matches, but I can't afford this really great artwork. They're like, well, we can give you these boring ones, but they're still a crown. And maybe they were like, yeah, okay. Now I will say, and this is from the problem I have with crowns, and it's not like a real problem, but you'll see. Crowns were basically West Coast, right? You will not see a crown match for anything past, east, other than Arizona, Nevada, right? It's mainly California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, territory of Hawaii, Arizona, and Nevada, but it's mostly northern Reno, Nevada, because even then Vegas wasn't really kicking at that point. So I don't think I've ever seen a New Mexico crown. There could be, but I've never seen one. But I have seen plenty for the other states. So, like I said, you won't find a crown for any other place. So, if you are collecting, and here's my problem. Predominantly, like my biggest category is Southern California, right? That's my favorite category because I'm born and raised here, but that's my category. Some of these are crowns. I need that business and it's a crown. But I'm paying crown prices. And I guess that's my issue. Because crowns go for a decent amount of money. Even the boring ones. And I think it's because, one, the graphics are great. But two, they have this legendary thing that they're crowns, right? They're like highly desired. They're crowns, right? So even if they're the boring crowns, they'll still go for decent money. So I'm screwed. Because a lot of times, I'm not buying it because it's a crown. I'm buying it because it goes in my collection. I don't have it yet, right? So keep that in mind, you know. Also, another interesting fact about crowns is they must have had a really good salesman in Chinatown. Because it's Los Angeles, Chinatown. Because most matchbooks that came out of 1930s Chinatown, you know, old Chinatown, new Chinatown, whatever, are all crowns. All crowns. And they're very great. They're very good looking, really cool looking for the time. Right. So, yeah, you'll find a lot of Chinatown crowns. I joke, that's my new band name, Chinatown Crowns. But anyways, but yeah, so like I said, I'll post what I got of crowns. They're a very great matchbook to collect. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit to let you guys know why they are a little bit higher in price when you get them. But like any collectible, and I gotta be like, up here, they're only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. That goes with everything, you know. And maybe once the demand goes down, because it does, you know, there's like group ones. I will do a video about group ones. Group ones are really old. They have like movie stars, radio stars, sports stars, things like that. And they're called group ones. And there's like group one nightlife, group like, you know, those were really hot for a while. Really hot for a while. Always going for a lot of money. Not so much anymore. And it's always like, what? These used to go for a ton of money. Well, not anymore, because one, I think everyone who wants them has them, right? And I've talked about this before, the market is flooded right now because all of these old school collectors are dying. So all of their matches are going estate sales to other collectors, and then they're turning around and trying to sell them on eBay, whatever, in the auctions, things like that. It's just flooded. So right now, if you want group ones, you can probably get them at a pretty good price. Hopefully crowns will kind of do that. I doubt it. But, you know, I just try my best. I try my best to get, you know, the crowns for my towns, you know. And there's other, like, regional match, you know, companies. And, well, that, I guess maybe we'll go into, that might be in the Manny Mark video or whatever. But there's also, like, out of LA, you know, West Coast, King Midas. Those are pretty old. Those are usually LA, Southern California. You know, there's Made in the West, which, don't worry, that's coming, because that's one of my big categories. Made in the West is just another, you know, I think it's Universal Match, I think, made these matches that the Manny Mark says Made in the West, and they're only for businesses in the West Coast. Now, I have seen one of those as far as El Paso, Texas, but they're normally this way, right? But there's also Made in Texas. Those are just for businesses in Texas. So, and there's other match companies that are only for regional areas. So, like I said, that'll be another video. But for crowns, you know, you got to be down for the crowns. You know, they're a great cover. You know, lots of art. Even the boring ones are very period. A lot of them look kind of Art Deco-y and stuff like that. And once you get into the matchbook collecting, you can start to tell the manufacturers of these matches, like, right off the bat, without even seeing the Manny Mark, because you'll see with these boring crowns, they always like that same font, that same style. It's probably the same designer, right? So I can see one right away, even like, as an example, like on eBay, right? They'll show the match, but you don't see the Manny Mark, because either it's a full book or maybe it's bobtailed. That's another issue. But I can just tell by looking at that. Oh, that font, that's a crown, right? Well, that's a Made in the West. That's a this, you know. So you'll see. Once you start getting more into the match collecting, you'll be able to pick out a crown like that. So that's it. So let me know your opinion on these crowns. I mean, do you think they're worth the money? If they're not worth the money, and let me know for reals, guys. If you find a helmet match, I do not have one in my collection. I'd like to get one, at least one. You know, I mean, that's how rare they are. I mean, I've been doing this for like over 20 years. I still don't have a Hellman match. So, wish me luck, and thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, and I'll see you on the next Matchbook Mondays. Happy collecting.